Scream, obviously a very frustrating afternoon there. What are your immediate thoughts of the game?
Yeah, hugely frustrated, disappointed, particularly first half. So yeah, look, I'll give him a slight excuse of a little bit of rustiness with 3 weeks off. I thought we'd give it a go second half and just lacked that little bit of quality to get the equaliser and maybe go on to win the game. But first half just wasn't anywhere near good enough from a lot of players. There's not many who came out with much credit, and we need to regroup during the week. We need to go through the roof with our intensity standards, and ultimately we need to show more quality when we get our opportunities. Fair play to Hyde, they were game, they worked their socks off, and they capitalised on our poor play when we got a goal up, and they got ahead within a few minutes. So yeah, like you say, frustrating, disappointment.
What do you think was missing in that first half? Because obviously we got the early lead, then they scored quite quickly after that. Do you think that knocked the lads a little bit?
Enthusiasm, intensity, intelligence. So, yeah, like I say, they haven't played for 3 weeks, so we'll give them a little bit. We tried to get a friendly in, which got called off because of the weather. Like I say, the levels in training have been good, and we're hoping that would translate into the match day performance, and obviously it didn't, particularly in that first half. It was not over the moon with the second half performance, but it was streets ahead of the first half, and we have to start with that bare minimum of energy, enthusiasm and intensity in every performance. So yeah.
Obviously in the second half there was a lot of effort there, a lot of knocking at the door, but couldn't quite break them down. I guess that's the sort of thing that you come up against quite a lot here, and something that they're going to have to learn from very quickly.
Yeah, look, we committed bodies forward, and they hit us on the counter attack a couple of times. Even got in a 2v1, but that's what happens when you're really late in a game and you're trying to get the equaliser. So yeah, we'll give it a go in the second half, but the second half's too late. The second half is too late. It's like what we've just said to the lads there, what we're waiting for. So we need to get our heads together this week. We need to really go through some honest conversations individually and as a group, and we've got two choices. We can turn up next week and have the same levels, or we realise the shortfalls we had today and rectify it very, very quickly. Because if that's what we're going to perform like, we're going to get anywhere this season.
It's obviously not just about one or two players, but missing JJ Hooper today as well. I guess that was a big blow to lose him quite close to the game.
JJ, Darius, Jordan, big players for us, but I'm not making that excuse. We have got a squad more than good enough to win today. The reason we didn't win was that lack of intensity in the first half. We killed ourselves. Wasn't much that Hyde did where they were miles a better team. They deserved to win 2-1. It was us being poor, plain and simple, and we have to put it right this week.
I guess the key is the reaction next Saturday against Witten Albion. I guess you're expecting a massive reaction in that game.
Well, we're struggling if we don't get a reaction. Plain and simple. If we don't get a reaction next week, it tells a lot. So yeah, there'll be obviously changes. Thought Hodgie was excellent when he came on. He's been working behind the scenes and could well have forced his way in. Cedric, thought he did some really good stuff today. Just hoping for a little bit more quality at the top end when he gets his chances. Briggsy, I thought Briggsy was our leader today. Thought he was excellent. Connor T did some really good stuff. Big heart, loads of enthusiasm. So there you go. It's them boys today have set the standards for everyone to follow, and now we just pose the question: who's going to follow them?
Just finally, the new stand open today as well. I guess that makes it even more frustrating that you weren't able to provide the performance you're looking for on that sort of day.
It's a disappointing day all around, particularly because of the occasion. We talked about it before the game. We talked about setting the tone, getting the crowd on our side, giving them something to shout about, giving them an enjoyable performance to watch. We say all the right things, but saying stuff is cheap. It's easy. Going out there is you've got to show those traits of a footballer to go and do those things, and a lot of it boils down to bravery, confidence. And we showed much more bravery and much more confidence in the second half, but why is it took 45 minutes to get there?